Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
And today we are doing a critique of some really great material.
Right, specifically SpeakDuo Listen 1304.
The one with Conan O'Brien.
Exactly. Though we're actually skipping the comedy today. We just want to focus strictly on the high-level vocabulary from that lesson.
Which is super useful. And hey, if you want to actually practice these phrases, you can go to SpeakDuo.com.
Yeah, you can meet new people from all around the world for video calls.
It's just a really great way to practice English and, build up your confidence.
Definitely. So to be clear, this critique is really designed for advanced English learners.
We want to help you sound less like a textbook and more like a fluent professional.
Right. So let's just jump straight into it. Our first phrase is in short supply.
This is a great one to start with. In the source material, they use it talking about free time.
Like how having a packed schedule means your free time is in short supply.
Exactly.
But I think a lot of learners might look at that and think, why not just say scarce?
Right, or just not enough.
Yeah, why do we need this whole three-word phrase when scarce just does the job perfectly fine?
Well, it's a good question. Scarce is accurate, but it feels really passive.
Like a geography textbook or something.
Yes, exactly. Like water is scarce in the desert. It's just a permanent state of being.
Oh, I see.
But when you say something is in short supply, there's this subtle implication of high demand clashing with low inventory.
So it's more active, more immediate.
Right. It's not that the thing doesn't exist at all. It's just that right now, everybody wants it, and there isn't quite enough to go around.
Okay, that makes sense. So how would we use that in, say, a workplace context?
Well, if you're in a budget meeting, you really don't want to say funds are scarce.
Yeah, that makes you sound like an economist.
Exactly. You'd want to say something like, due to the busy quarter, our marketing budget is in short supply.
That sounds way more professional. It frames it as a temporary logistical constraint, not just poverty.
Exactly. And for our IELTS listeners, it's a fantastic way to elevate a really common observation.
Like talking about work-life balance?
Yeah. Instead of just saying, people aren't patient anymore, you could say, in today's fast-paced world, patience is in short supply.
Oh, that's good. It turns a basic sentence into a really sophisticated social observation.
It really does. Okay, moving on to our second phrase. What happens when things go really wrong? The source text gives us the word salvage.
Ah, salvage. I love this one. The source talks about, managing to salvage a road trip after your car breaks down.
Or salvaging a terrible workday by watching a movie.
Right. But to me, salvage kind of sounds like a junkyard. Or a shipwreck.
That is actually the exact origin of the word, maritime law.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it literally refers to saving a ship that is sinking or has already sunk. And that is the crucial nuance here.
So it's heavier than just saving something.
Much heavier. You don't salvage a situation that's just a little bit annoying. You salvage an absolute disaster.
So if I make a tiny typo in an email, I'm not salvaging the email.
No, you're just fixing it. But if you accidentally send a highly confidential file to the wrong client,
Oh boy.
yeah, then you are in damage control. You are trying to salvage the entire client relationship.
Okay, so it implies the situation was almost a total loss.
Exactly. In a workplace, it's a real hero word. A project manager wouldn't just say, I fixed the presentation.
They'd say, despite the disastrous technical issues, I managed to salvage the pitch.
Yes, it acknowledges how bad the problem was while highlighting your specific ability to rescue it.
Very powerful. And for an IELTS candidate?
It's perfect for when they ask you to describe a time something went wrong, like, my luggage was lost, but we salvaged the holiday by going shopping.
Nice. Now, ideally, we want to avoid the disaster in the first place, which brings us to our third phrase, deter.
Right. The lesson notes that a high price didn't deter people from buying a new phone.
And a long line won't deter someone if the cafe is legendary.
Exactly. Is this just a fancy way of saying prevent?
Not quite. There's a big difference. Prevent means stopping something entirely, making it impossible.
Like locking a door prevents someone from walking in?
Right. But deter is psychological. It means creating a barrier, like fear or doubt or difficulty.
So they could still do it, but you're making them hesitate.
Precisely. You're discouraging them. In business, you might discuss how strict financial penalties might deter corporate fraud.
You can't physically stop the fraud, but you make the consequences too scary.
Exactly. And for IELTS, if you're talking about the environment, you might say, I don't think a 10-cent tax is enough to deter people from using plastic bags.
That's a great example. All right, let's move to our fourth phrase, the sweet spot.
This is a really fun one. The source uses it to describe a music playlist that is chill but not sleepy.
Or a cafe that has just the right amount of background noise.
Right.
I feel like people usually just say balance for this, like finding a balance.
They do, but sweet spot is what's better. Balance or compromise usually suggests you have to give something up. You meet in the middle.
Like nobody is perfectly happy.
Exactly. But the sweet spot comes from sports like tennis or baseball.
The spot on the racket where you get the most power.
Yes, it's the central ideal mark, the zone of absolute maximum effectiveness.
So it's about optimization, not giving things up.
Right. So a marketing team wouldn't want to compromise between being informative and entertaining. They want the sweet spot.
The perfect peak of both.
Exactly. Or in IELTS, describing your routine, you finally found the sweet spot between studying hard and getting enough sleep.
Love that. Okay, phrase number 5 gets into social dynamics, self-deprecation.
This one is incredibly important for advanced fluency. The lesson mentions someone whose self-deprecation made everyone feel comfortable.
Like the story about walking into a glass door while trying to look cool.
Right.
But isn't this just being modest?
A lot of learners think that, but no. Modesty is hiding your achievements. Self-deprecation is actively highlighting your flaws.
Making fun of yourself?
Exactly. You do it to be funny or to voluntarily lower your own status.
Why would you want to lower your status at work, though?
To build rapport. It totally disarms people. Imagine a veteran CEO stepping in front of a really nervous team.
Oh, I see. If they say something like, I know I'm the one sending you all these annoying emails at midnight.
Yes. They are using self-deprecation to show they don't take themselves too seriously. It endears them to the room.
That's a very advanced emotional intelligence skill.
It is. And in an IELTS speaking test, talking about how humor and self-deprecation are valued in your culture shows deep cultural awareness.
Fantastic. Okay, phrase 6. Let's say you're in that meeting and you don't know the answer. The text gives us the phrase, conjure up.
Yes. Conjure up. The lesson describes having a linguistic emergency and needing to conjure up a reason for not finishing an assignment.
Again, I have to play devil's advocate here. Why not just say, come up with?
Come up with is completely neutral. You can come up with a business plan after 6 months of research.
Right.
But conjure up implies magic. It implies you are pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
So there's speed and creativity involved?
Speed, creativity, and usually a total lack of solid materials. You are inventing something out of thin air.
Out of necessity.
Exactly. A manager might explain to a colleague, the board was furious. I had to conjure up a convincing explanation on the spot.
It sounds much more impressive than just saying, I made an excuse.
Definitely. For IELTS, you could describe a time you had to be creative. I forgot the gift, so I had to conjure up a homemade card in 5 minutes.
It paints such a vivid picture. All right, phrase 7. When you have a massive task ahead of you, chip away.
The imagery here is great. Chipping away at a final project so you don't panic.
So instead of working on a project, you chip away at it. What's the difference?
Work on is general, but chip away implies the task is massive, like a giant block of stone.
You can't break it all at once.
Right. You can only handle it in small increments, little by little.
So in the workplace, you wouldn't chip away at a single short email.
No, but you would chip away at a massive manuscript or a backlog of 500 emails, doing a set amount daily.
It shows steady, gradual progress against something overwhelming.
A day.
Perfect. And our final phrase, number 8. This is about what not to do in a conversation. Step on someone's lines.
Yes, the source defines this as interrupting someone while they're talking.
But interrupting can be intentional and rude. Is this the same?
Not exactly. Stepping on lines comes from acting. It implies clumsiness.
Like messing up the timing in a dialogue?
Yes, it's an accidental overlap that ruins the rhythm. You don't mean to be rude. You're just eager or out of sync.
Like on video calls?
Oh, absolutely. An inexperienced presenter might accidentally step on their co-host's lines because of audio lag.
So it's more about the flow of communication.
Right. For IELTS, you could describe a challenging communication moment by saying, "We were both so excited we kept stepping on each other's lines."
It's so much more descriptive than just saying we interrupted each other.
It really is.
Well, that covers all 8 phrases from our critique today.
They are incredibly useful for adding precision to your English.
But now we have to see if our listeners actually remember them. It is time for the quiz.
Let's do it.
Here is how this works. I will read a sentence with a blank space. I'll give you 3 options, A, B, and C. I will repeat the relevant phrase a few times so you know what we are looking for.
And then we'll give you a chance to think.
Exactly. After I read the options, I'll prompt you to pause. Then we will reveal the answer.
Sounds good.
Question 1. We are looking for the phrase in short supply. In today's highly competitive market, genuinely innovative ideas are increasingly blank.
In desperately short supply.
On significantly low reserve.
At terribly rare provision.
Again, we are looking for in short supply. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer. The answer is A, in desperately short supply. This emphasizes that the demand for ideas is high, but the availability is really low.
Question 2. We are looking for the word salvage. Despite the disastrous initial presentation, the experienced consultant miraculously managed to blank the client relationship.
Perfectly restore back.
Completely rescue up.
Successfully salvage. We are looking for salvage. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer.
The answer is C, successfully salvage. Just like saving a shipwreck, you salvage a situation that was almost a total disaster.
Question 3. We are looking for the word deter. The unusually harsh economic penalties were implemented by the government specifically to blank widespread corporate fraud.
Thoroughly repulse.
Effectively deter.
Forcefully reject. We are looking for deter. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer.
The answer is B, effectively deter. You are putting up a psychological barrier to discourage the action.
Question 4. We want the phrase perfect sweet spot. The new marketing campaign managed to hit the blank between being highly informative and genuinely entertaining.
Perfect sweet spot.
Central ideal mark.
Optimal prime core. We are looking for perfect sweet spot. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer.
The answer is A, perfect sweet spot. It's that zone of maximum effectiveness, not just a compromise.
Question 5. We are looking for self-deprecation. The veteran comedian's routine heavily relied on blank, which instantly endeared him to the otherwise hostile audience.
Inward-facing mockery.
Self-directed criticism.
Clever self-deprecation. We are looking for clever self-deprecation. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer.
The answer is C, clever self-deprecation. Highlighting your own flaws to build rapport and make people comfortable.
Question 6. We are looking for the phrase conjure up. When suddenly confronted by the demanding board of directors, the manager had to quickly blank a convincing explanation for the severe delay.
Rapidly invent out.
Neatly conjure up.
Swiftly gather in. We are looking for neatly conjure up. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer.
The answer is B, neatly conjure up. Creating something quickly out of thin air, like magic.
Question 7. We are looking for the phrase chip away. Rather than becoming overwhelmed by the massive manuscript, the author decided to blank at it by writing precisely 3 pages daily.
Steadily chip away.
Slowly scrape down.
Quietly break apart.
We are looking for steadily chip away. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer.
The answer is A, steadily chip away, making gradual progress on a massive, overwhelming task.
Question 8. Finally, we are looking for the phrase step on her lines. The inexperienced actor kept forgetting his timing, constantly managing to blink during the play's most dramatic and intense scene.
Jump over her cues. Step on her lines.
Walk past her words. We are looking for step on her lines. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer.
The answer is B, step on her lines, accidentally interrupting and messing up the rhythm of the dialogue.
And that wraps up the quiz portion of our critique.
I hope everyone did well. These phrases really do add so much color and precision to advanced English speech.
They absolutely do. So my advice to our listeners is to take action. Choose just one of these phrases today.
Maybe try using sweet spot in a meeting or conjure up in an email tomorrow.
Yes, put it into practice and see how it elevates your conversation.
And remember, if you want to practice speaking with real people, definitely check out SpeakDuo.com.
It's a fantastic resource, and we thank them for today's lesson material.
Thanks for joining us for this critique.
We will see you next time.